Horn Africa has a secretariat, and then we do have activities and knowledge generation, which is happening in our participating countries. Mm-hmm. And then when we receive the reports and everything, we work together to produce some publications which are targeted to give back, to share more wider in the network. And then for some of the studies, we're also producing policy briefs, mm-hmm. which we intend to share with policymakers.
We work with a variety of people to co-produce knowledge. Yeah, we work with university libraries. Mm-hmm. We work with the policy influencers such as the media, through several programs such as science cafes, where we try to promote science through science cafe, through even research. Recently we have research cafes also, where we try to have policymakers, the general public, and other stakeholders in one room, where we discuss issues to do with research and research material.
Absolutely. We do work in partnerships with other research institutions and other individuals who are interested in agricultural political processes in Africa. So in terms of this partnership, I could say we work with we work with over 90 institutes and scientists to produce this knowledge. And in terms of policy engagements, we work with a lot of individuals to actually organize debates and convene conferences and meetings. Actually, we invite people to come and debate about the current conversations that are going on in policy and agriculture in
we do,
Africa.
because ALIN does not have information of its own, but relies on other institutions or individuals to give knowledge and information in their area of specialization, which we classify and use our information products to exchange.
Yes, several people. I'll cite yet again another example of the ICT40 forum that we organize. We do it in partnership with the regional library. So we select the topics together. The regional library gives us the space to use for free, and then we also have the radio, some media persons who give us airtime to be able to discuss some of these topics on radio. And for me, I think that is partnering with them to produce knowledge.
At KIT we have a number of information products, and we co-produce it with others in the sense that we want others to contribute to our products. So that's a kind of co-production in a literary phase, meaning of the word. But also what we do is use our colleagues who are out in the field working with practitioners in agriculture, in health. And what we want them to do is bring information and needs, demand for information to us, to the portal makers, to have a direct contact with the users. And of course we use online questionnaires and interviews, etc. But the link with these practitioners, that's essential for us. Mm-hmm. So it's direct feedback in various ways with the end users of our products.
The yes, meaning that we work with pilot projects and work with them to get out their information and pass it on to other projects within the country or people who are interested in what's happening in sectors like health, democracy, and education, and how people are using ICT in those sectors. The no part is that we do most of that packaging and creating of that knowledge as iNetwork ourselves. We don't work with a partner to come up with new knowledge.
Well, IDS is one example. We've worked with Shifan on producing an information literacy guidebook. We also work with local think tanks to not only produce the knowledge, but to pass on the policy synthesis, the policy outputs to policymakers. We work with CPEC a lot in Latin America. We have other partners in the UK as well, like we work with Comms Consult, with ITAD. In Africa, we work with ESRF.
Because we don't actually produce any new knowledge. We're a knowledge sharing platform, so we take other people's knowledge and put it onto our platform. But we do work in partnership with other organizations as part of that process. So, for example, the KM4D project is busy funding a democracy and governance theme site and e-newsletter and online networking process. So we are working quite closely with them to try and share knowledge across platforms. So we're working together with the Elders Governance theme site that you have, and feeding the content into our site. And they're also planning to do the same with the content from our democracy and governance site. But that's sort of at a very basic level. We're looking at using to get the platforms to speak more in a more complex way with each other through an open API process. But we're still in discussions around that so that the knowledge is just a little bit more integrated into the different platforms.
And will that then go on beyond to other themes as well, beyond governance themes?
It could happen. It's just at this point we're being funded for around democracy and governance. But we're always, at the moment, when we work with partners, a lot of partners want to have the information on their platforms as well. So I think this is something that's going to be happening more and more, is that more platforms are going to have to speak to each other and that there's more of a sharing of information across platforms.